Uh, are you seeing much recuperation of office space in Dubai at present? And why is this slow?
Well, as I said, the reoccupation of office space has surprised me at how slow it's been. Obviously, I've been working at home, but I was quite quick at getting back out into the city. And as I was visiting various buildings, expecting to see lots of people, I didn't. And I think there's a combination of reasons for that. As we look back, we had the onset, we had Ramadan, followed by Eid, then followed by the summer. August is always dead. And I think we're now should be starting to see at the start of September, more and more people. Certainly the roads are a lot busier, so I'm anticipating more people back into the offices. But it's not full on, and there is a lot of reluctance amongst certain demographics to come back to work. They're advocating, they are scared, and it's down to the corporates and the companies and the leadership to try and provide a level of comfort to encourage these people to come back to the office. Either that or just tell them straight.
One of the industries that has suffered particularly badly, other than hospitality, which is linked, is the events industry here. That the eventing here in terms of international events was huge. And now all of that seems to have gone. Do you see a way, and I think it would be very strange, but do you see a way of perhaps one of the larger events like the IT event or the travel events, will they ever come back to include social distancing? Can you have an event where you're socially distanced? Is that something that people should be looking at?
I've been to several events in the last couple of weeks where social distancing was imposed to a certain degree. I think if you were going to be rigid about it, it's impossible. There's a degree of common sense. There is a degree of personal risk-taking. So long as the measures are in place and everybody understands if you don't want to shake hands or if you want to wear a mask. And that seems to be the case. There is an understanding of that. In terms of the larger events, I truly believe that there will be a vaccine within the next 6 months. And once that vaccine is proven, I think the bigger events will not be a major problem. I think certainly the work that the government in the UAE have done, the work that the UK are doing at Oxford, there will be a vaccine. And I know it's been rushed through, but I don't think we have any choice. But I think as soon as that vaccine comes, it'll be mandated here in the UAE. And there will be a reliance on that vaccine. And I think we will very slowly but surely migrate back to pretty much normality once the vaccine is in place. In the interim, I think we're going to go through peaks and troughs. I think there will be a spike very shortly because all the schools are back, everybody's migrating back to work, social events are getting more and more, and the sports clubs are back. Impact have been involved with one of the largest rugby clubs here in the UAE, and we've put in place process for the compliance with the COVID return to play regulations that the UAE Rugby Federation have put in place. In fact, Impact were part of assisting the UAE Rugby Federation devise those return to play protocols. And what we've done for that particular club is automate everything. With over 700 players that have to pre-register for every training session, if you were to do that on a paper-based system, you would just lose track of everything. It would be virtually impossible. And the reason for doing that is so that the government can track and trace in the event of a positive case. So that's all been automated, and lots of other protocols have been automated for that particular club. Those services are available to other sports and other sports clubs, and we're quite quick at being able to put those processes in place. So that's another thing on the business advisory service. I'm trying to have the company look outside of the corporate world. You know, looking outside, for want of a better term, outside of that box. Looking at schools, looking at sporting facilities, because very rarely do consultants look and concentrate on those sorts of areas because they're not deemed as a major sector.
Yeah, yeah. They generally, large consultancy companies look for the big boys, for the ones that they think is going to pay them lots of money. When unfortunately for them, there's a lot of SMEs out there that need the service.